I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but right now there's 17 competitive game types. So that is that's the most that's ever been in Halo. It's uh, like you it was hard playing before, like going into scrims knowing you have to play 13 games.
Yeah.
It was like hard going into scrims that way. But with 17, it's like there's just almost no way you're going to be able to finish the scrim and stay sane.
Yeah.
Because a 17 game scrim might take like 4 hours. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
if it's close. Yeah, and if it's like a sweep, it's like maybe 3,
Yeah,
maybe. Oh So, man. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like at least on the competitive front, like adding more maps, it's like there's definitely like I feel like there should definitely be a cap. like like I think
yeah,
adding maps for social, like please add more maps for social. I think it's great. But yeah, I
right.
mean I was thinking about that too. Like because they announced Catalyst, that new map. I was like, okay, I mean they'll throw that in the rotation, I'm sure. But like, how's that? I mean, especially if they're adding a new mode on top of that, and now it's like inflated the amount of games. It's like I hope they don't go too much more with competitive at least.
Right. The thing is, they can definitely subtract game types, right? Because
Yeah,
everyone is agreeing that Catalyst Slayer is just the worst game type. So just take it out. There's no need.
yeah,
Like if you have 17 game types, like go ahead and just remove a game type that's just clearly worse than the others.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I don't think it would be the first time they've removed game types in the past.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't Halo 2 for Beaver Creek, they had CTF, and then they realized like Red Base had the ultimate advantage, and they win pretty much like 90% of the time or more.
Yeah, that was a little bit different though because at that time I believe there wasn't like the download maps the map pack hasn't came out yet, so like Sanctuary and
Right.
Warlock they weren't around, so they had to kind of put something in the place. So then when those maps came out, it was just like clearly much better than playing like Beaver Creek Flag.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Halo Infinite is still redeemable for from a casual standpoint because Big Team Battle actually works now because when the season 1 dropped, it pretty much broke Big Team Battle for a good 3 months, and nobody was playing, and people are tired of just doing quick play like assault rifles, pistol, or going into ranked. It's not really fun to do solo grind and ranked. So Big Team Battle was like people's real way for them to get the feeling of Halo. So that coming back, I mean, we've seen some of the numbers increase, at least on Steam charts. So it's making a growth in the right direction. It's just going to
Right.
take time.
Yeah, it's just kind of how long is it going to take for Halo to be in a place where it's one of the top games. Like, because that's where I've always kind of looked at Halo, especially since from playing Halo 2 and Halo 3, it was like the game. It was the
Mhm.
competitive game. And then now it's just like now it seems like a small indie game. Seeing only like 1,000 viewers on Twitch, like no one's really paying attention to it. So hopefully it can get back to being a top competitive game.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully so. I think because it's on PC now, I think they have more options and more flexibility to actually improve the game itself. So it's like if you get to the point where you can increase like the tick rate on the servers and just make it an overall better running forming game on PC, then you can go to these tournaments and they'll have PC set up,
Yeah,
and then you won't need the consoles anymore because they're sort of limited to what the Xbox One can do.
right.
And because that's like the lowest thing because it is on the Xbox One. So that's like the lowest bar that they have to meet and could be potentially like the highest bar they can meet.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that tournaments are like that. If you guys didn't know, in the AM scene, you play on Xboxes, and then when you make the pro bracket, then you play on PCs. So
Yeah.
going from for and almost everyone plays on PC rather than Xbox because it's just clearly better online. If you get if you play on Xbox online, you just get completely smoked, and then the scrims just aren't. You just don't get out. You don't get a lot from the scrims if you're playing on Xbox or someone from your team is playing on Xbox. Um, so almost everyone is practicing on PC, and then when you go to competitions, you have to switch over to Xbox when you're going through the open bracket, and it's a big difference. The biggest difference is the input lag. You feel it right away that there's a slight delay, and there's just certain things on the Xbox that's a little bit different than the PC version of the game. So it'd be nice if they could kind of fix that to where it's just PCs only in the AM bracket as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And just the online experience in general is pretty rough. Just the servers are pretty inconsistent, and then however they design the game with the animations. I remember we went through and we found out that like the explosions of grenades take place and like deal damage on your character before they begin an animation. So if they're sliding, wherever you start the slide is where you'll take the damage, and it's kind of the same way when you're getting shot as well. So you can never really like dodge and run away from shots, and it's just always like compounded on online,
Yeah,
just adding that extra element.
Yeah. That's probably why people
I
die
remember that
behind walls
like
so much, right? It's like you're just
Yeah.
oh man.
yeah, I remember in like the first week of playing the game, like someone would throw a nade and I would run and slide away from it and the nade would still hit me and I'm like I was definitely so far away from that. But yeah, when you start the slide, it like still counts. The game thinks that you were where you started the slide and you just get hit by that.
Yeah. It's as if you're leaving your hitbox behind you when you slide.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. So it's like you're not like it gives you the illusion of you getting shot behind walls when you
Yeah.
might not be. It's weird. It's kind of like it reminds me of OG like Halo 2, Halo 3 days when the servers were not like I guess it was peer to peer. So what the host would see would be different than what like the client would see.
Right.
So, but it's just I don't know how it works. I'm not like a developer, but it's frustrating to say the
Yeah, it's
least.
frustrating for sure. Hopefully they fix it. I mean, I see it taking a while for the game becomes like good. I mean, maybe like a year or two from now, yeah, I could see it being good, possibly having like a big bounce back. The battle royale, if the battle royale is like actually good, then that's gonna change Halo completely, I think.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah, I
biggest
agree with
advantage
that.
there is it's certain Infinity doing it, not 343,
Right.
which like sounds bad,
Yes.
but like it's not 343. Like so,
Right,
there's definitely
right. I
some help
mean,
there.
how long has 343 taken over? Or how long have they been in charge of Halo?
Since
Since
Halo,
Bungie left,
so
so
they did
yeah,
Halo
they
4,
took
right?
over. Yeah,
Ye-
they
Was
made Halo 4 and that was 2010?
2012.
No. So yeah, 2012.
They've had Halo for about 10 years. I mean, they haven't really had like in my opinion at least they haven't really had like a successful Halo like compared to Halo 2 or Halo 3, you know?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Nothing's been on that
Or even
scale.
I
yeah,
don't think anything has been like Reach either. And Reach was like Bungie just trying to get out of their contract.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, I mean, there are some redeemable qualities in the most recent Halos, like Halo Infinite's campaign's pretty good. The open explorations, like a lot of fun. If you like going through 100% completion, you're gonna have fun. Um, Halo 4's campaign was really good, and Halo 5's gameplay eventually was good. It just took a couple of years.
Right.
So maybe
I feel
that's
like
where it's gonna go.
I feel like all of the games though just have like that one or two things that just completely just like ruins it
yeah,
from from like just a feel of the game. Like for Halo 5, for a lot of players it was the like the heavy aim, like how you're how aiming just felt weird every time because it was literally dependent on the server. Um then for like a lot of newer players or from a lot of people that are coming from the old Halos like introducing sliding and uh thrusting and everything just kind of seemed like it was trying not to be a Halo game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought Halo 5 was one of the best like competitive Halos though, but I mean, it just had those features that kind of shot it in the like they kind of shot themselves in the foot. Um, yeah. And then obviously with Halo Infinite, you have the desync and all the other issues that it has. So, It's disappointing as a Halo fan, but I mean, if you ever are that disappointed, you can just go back and play the old ones. So, I mean, at least you can do that.
That's a good point.